We're back in my studio today after a long time. I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you to everybody who sent me such lovely messages regarding my accident. I did post on Instagram briefly addressing the situation because it put a hold on all of my work, so I felt like it was appropriate to address that. And I got so many messages from everybody wishing me well, checking in on me. Thank you so much, it meant the world to me. It really was a near-death experience. Know that I am better, I'm doing very well, I recovered completely. So I'm just so grateful to God. God really saved my life. Like, it was a situation where I could not stop crying and I was quite traumatized by it because like that was all God. So happy that I'm feeling better because I'm ready to get back into it. So today I thought it would be really fun if I go through some of my old work so you guys can see the progress that I've made. I can see the progress that I've made. Basically just want to show you guys that the skills that I possess now, they weren't always that way. A big part of being an artist is that you evolve. Your skills evolve, your ideas evolve, you evolve with your work. Like, I actually haven't looked at my work in a really long time, so it's gonna be quite funny to see. So yeah, I'm not gonna get too deep into it and give you my whole backstory, but I just wanna take it back, make this visual. So let's have a look at the big folder. Right in this first wallet of this folder is like old pictures. 2011 to about 2013 when I was like hardcore Twitter fangirl. I was like, oh my God. Oh my, guys. I actually thought I threw these away. I think because they were in the folder with everything else, I actually thought that, let me compose myself and explain myself to you guys. I started drawing and posting on online on my Facebook and stuff when I was like literally in year 7, so I must have been about 12. But I think this is the oldest drawing I have at the moment. This is my Chris Brown drawing that I was so proud of, right? Wow, look at the hair. Like, you see that? I thought I was so sick. There is no detail in that. None. This is 10 years ago. I thought I was amazing. Oh, it actually makes me like really, I'm overwhelmed. This is a Michael Jackson drawing I did that I was, again, very proud of. If you know me, you knew that I was a die-hard Lil Wayne fan. Lil Wayne's the best rapper alive, no debate. But from this, I was like, time to up the detail. So I came in with a little bit of shading, a bit of detail. So this is September 2011, like 9 years ago. This is when I started learning how to shade compared to the first two. Like, I wasn't really shading. This one, I tried a little bit. You can see in his face, I was like doing the smudge technique to try and get some shading. This is my Tupac drawing that went crazy on my Facebook. I really tried to get into the detail with the eyes, the shading all over the face. In the space of a year, you know, because I kept going and going. A lot of people were encouraging me as well, which really helped. So I did this A3 one of Nicki Minaj. My thing at this time was the shading, getting into the shading. So I was like trying to learn how to shade properly. Of course, at this time I was like, what, 13 or 14. I had no like ideas of there was no creativity or any concepts behind what I was doing. It was just pure skill based. Like, I was trying to better my skill. I was just trying to get better at drawing. I was trying to get some recognition for what I was doing. So everything I was doing was just drawing celebrities and tag. Nikki, come on, Nikki, see this. That's what I was doing. But that is how I built up my skill. That's how I built up my confidence. And what I do as well is a lot through just posting online. Like, I just did so many drawings. Like, you know, I've got the internet here. This one's pencil and biro of Nikki and Safari. But yeah, throughout 2013 is when I got really experimental and was really just stepping out of my comfort zone with the pencil. I started using some ink, I started using color pencil. The lack of detail is crazy to me, and the shading is like abysmal. Like I said, you gotta start somewhere, right? This was my breakthrough into color pencil. This was my breakthrough from using black and white pencil, graphite pen into color. Then I was like, boom. That whole thing right there is like Twitter mams, breakthrough mams, Facebook mams, trying to get into being an artist, trying to up my skill. But around that same time, I was going into my GCSE, so I was getting super experimental at school as well. I don't have all my GCSE art books, sad face. I did hit up my art teacher, my GCSE art teacher, to see if she held on to any of them, but she couldn't find any. But she did find some pieces which are questionable to look at. But we'll get there. I did a project and it was basically about me. A lot of portraiture, which obviously you guys can see was my thing, but I think this is when I got into doing self-portraiture. Whoa, what is that? What? This is like some vampire stuff. Things aren't always as they seem. Whoa. What is going on? What is that? What is that? What is Gucci? What's going on? I don't know what's going on here, guys. Wow. A lot of feelings. Dark times. This is one of my GCSE pieces, and you can see the strong MIA influence. Like, this is literally my version of the Carla album cover. I use my name, my face, everything. Very unusual portraits of myself. Excuse me, can you stop eating my work? So our second GCSE project, 15 going on 16, I think is when I learned how to have a concept amongst my artwork. I went for the theme of welcome to the party. I was super inspired by The Weeknd and Party Next Door and The Weeknd's whole trilogy album. I feel like if you've never drawn lips, you're not a real artist. So throughout and after my GCSE, I just really tried to keep the momentum going and create a real online presence. So I was doing a lot of celebrity drawings. Some of you guys might remember, I was posting a lot. This is one of my personal favorites, so cute. I think everybody remember this iconic portrait that I did. I did this during my GCSEs, it was 2013. It's this portrait of Tyler, the Creator. So going into college was like a whole nother ball game for me. It's really when I started creating concepts that actually last and that are meaningful. One of my first projects that I did in college was one called Breaking News, where I basically was addressing how a lot of celebrities do stuff that makes the news and it's breaking news, where it's just like, the fact that it's breaking news is crazy. My final outcome from the project was my legendary piece, Breaking News, which you can find on my website. It's a huge collage, which is lots of moments in popular culture that were breaking news put together in one scene. I love that piece to this day. It was a very experimental piece for me and I uncovered a lot of new styles. Following that was my birth into unpacking culture throughout my artwork. I decided to unpack my culture. I'm a Punjabi, I'm also British. How can I showcase that in my work? I took less of a personal route and took more of a community and family route, and I was actually using my family a lot in my work. So I was taking a lot of pictures of my friends, my Punjabi friends, my family. This is kind of where I started falling in love with using cardboard. I really enjoyed the texture of it. And these two portraits in particular is when I started combining cardboard with colour pencil. And I just fell in love, guys. I didn't realise I was capable of bringing out so much detail with colour pencil. I didn't think it was possible for me, and I did it. From that, I did my streetwear project where I was just looking at fashion and streetwear and what's popular right now. That helped me expand skill-wise and concept-wise because it allowed me to start taking portraits and start taking photos to use for my paintings and actually putting together some looks. Looked at celebrity culture and brand campaigns And I basically use the content of those in my kind of style of paintings. This is my future booming piece of future metro booming. At this point I was too scared to fully paint, so I basically use paint as an accessory. I use it to just add colour to my pieces, to add a pop to my pieces around the detail. My outcome for that project was my Lorenzo pieces, and these are my first big pencil portraits. These portraits really made me realise what I'm capable of and gave me that confidence to push and to work larger and larger. So then, this is when I entered the era of culture clash, man. I took what I learned and what I enjoyed about the culture project that I did, and then I took what I learned from the fashion editorial one that I did, and I kind of mushed them together and started exploring myself. What's my culture clash, you know? This was my take on self-portraiture, which rooted in from GCSEs that I kind of solidified in the end, you know? I think at the age of 17, 18, like this is as far as it went. It was me dressing up half, you know, bringing the two together. This concept came about as my online profile was growing, and I really feel like it put a bit of a stamp on me as an artist. What birthed from this was the iconic saris and sliders. That piece was me taking everything that I'd learned in terms of confidence that I had in myself, in terms of the skills that I'd learned, in terms of the techniques that I used, and in terms of having a concept, and bringing out my identity in my work to give it a stamp, and like, this is Mama Mams. This is a Mama Mams piece. And that painting like kind of took off for my career. That's the first painting I started showing in exhibitions and everything like that. I took the idea of exploring my identity through my artwork and kind of ran with it for a little bit. I did a few more pieces that were inspired in the same kind of way. Then I realized that that's not all I want to be. I want to be bigger, I want to be better, I want to explore more. And I'm still in such an early stage of my artistic journey. And one thing that I've always just loved is portraiture. Like, portraiture is my first love, and my idea of portraiture has just evolved. I think actually today, going through everything, I've really seen where all my influences come from, and I've never seen it in this kind of way. Another amazing thing that I did was team up with one of my best friends who is a photographer, Kieran Gidder, and we created Mums and MK. Mums and MK was honestly one of my favorite things that I've ever done. And me and Kieran styled our mums as if they were us. It was just another exploration into identity and into our identity, into the identity of our mums and this generation and their generation, you know? And we did a few shoots and we ended up actually having an art show. This is really hard for me to hold. We ended up having an art show, a Mums and MK art show, where that's our mums, guys. I feel like we should do it again and do it bigger and better. Like, we've grown now as artists. That was 3 years ago. There's also one hanging up on my wall, and that was honestly one of my favorite projects I've done. It holds a place in my heart. So yeah, at the moment I'm just kind of exploring and experimenting. I moved to using wood. I tried out wood a couple of times and I fell in love with it. It was like cardboard times 10, you know? So I did a few portraits on wood. There was a lot of experimentation. These are just the pieces that are in my studio at the moment. One thing I really learned over the years was I really enjoyed taking my own photos and turning them into artwork and creating my own concepts, my own styling, everything, and being able to get the outcome I want. And I think as of now, that's what I'm rolling with. And now I'm trying to go back to working big, and I've started at that with my portrait of Sook. I think that's like a rebirth for me in my portraiture, and it's something I'm gonna roll with. And I introduced oil paints, which is super fun. I think we're up to speed with where I am now. I don't want to give too much away conceptually, but as you guys have seen of my latest work, there has been so much progress, so much, and this is where we're at now. So So as for my journey now, you guys can see where I'm at. The whole purpose of this video is to keep it nice and visual and to basically show you guys that don't give up. Like, practice is everything. That was 10 years worth of work. Like, where I'm at now, I still have another 10 years where I'm gonna get better and better. Like, don't doubt yourself, honestly, because everybody starts somewhere. I wanted to show that to you guys and hopefully inspire some of you to really feel like, okay, you know what? Practice makes perfect and I'm gonna keep going. Please don't give up. I've obviously done a lot more. I've done a lot more artwork. There's a lot more to the stories as well, but I tried to give you guys the building blocks. If you guys have any questions that you wanna ask me, feel free to comment in my comment section. Message me on Instagram, anything. Like, I'm an open book and I really want to help you guys. Any advice you need, I'm more than happy to help. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you stay tuned for my next video. Hope you stay tuned for where I'm about to be in the next 10 years, 5 years, I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Watch my other videos if you haven't already. I'll see you guys next time. Mwah.